Zillow just made a huge move that will totally change how homes are bought and sold in America. If you're thinking about buying or selling a home anytime in the future, this directly affects you. Starting in May of 2025, if a home is marketed publicly, even something simple as a yard sign or an Instagram post, but it is not listed in the MLS within 24 hours, Zillow will ban that listing from ever appearing on their site. Sounds like a rule for agents, right? But here's the truth. This could seriously impact what you see online or what you can't see. And if you're a seller, you could lose access to approximately 200 million monthly Zillow users just because of how your home is marketed. Let's break down exactly what Zillow is doing, what it means for you, and the real stories that prove why this matters. So here's the quick breakdown. Zillow introduced something called the Zillow Listing Access Standards, or ZLAS. Their new rule says this: if your home is being marketed to the public in any way, it must be added to the MLS within 24 hours. If it isn't, that listing is banned from Zillow forever. They say this is to ensure fairness. If one buyer can see the home, then every buyer should be able to see the home. And it makes sense on the surface. The thing is, buyers don't have access to the MLS. Only licensed agents do, and they have to pay the MLS for this privilege. So how is making an agent and their seller put the property on the MLS within 24 hours benefit the buyers if they can't directly access the MLS? And here's where it gets interesting and potentially risky. Zillow's rule might sound simple: listed on the MLS within 24 hours or else we block it. But here's the catch, and it's a big one. Even common, harmless marketing moves can get a listing banned from Zillow. Let me give you two clear examples. Example one, the Instagram teaser. You're a homeowner. Your agent is excited to list your house, so they post a quick photo on Instagram with the caption, "New listing coming soon at 123 Main Street. DM me for early access." It's not on the MLS yet. Maybe they were planning to enter it in the next few days. That one Instagram post counts as public marketing. And since the home wasn't put into the MLS within 24 hours, it is now permanently banned from Zillow. Even if you fix it later, it's too late. Here's example number two, the sign in the yard. Let's say your agent puts the "coming soon" sign in your yard. Totally normal, right? But if the listing isn't in the MLS within 24 hours of putting that sign in the ground, Zillow considers that a violation, and that listing will disappear from Zillow for good. Even if it hits the MLS the next day, Zillow won't take it. These are not rare mistakes. They happen all the time in real-world listings, especially the sign in the yard. These sign companies that when we order the signs in the yard, they give us a 24 to 72-hour window of when they're going to install the sign. Can you imagine having to micromanage these big companies just to abide by Zillow's new rule? These are simple examples of sellers just trying to get a head start and agents trying to build the buzz. And buyers, you're not even going to know that these homes ever existed for sale because they're blocked by Zillow. You have no idea if all of the homes that are in your desired location with your price point and everything you want are on Zillow. How crazy is that? Is this really helping buyers and sellers? After Zillow made this announcement, the real estate world lit up. Glenn Kelman, the CEO of Redfin, weighed in, emphasizing Redfin's support for broad listing access. He wrote, "Because we believe that all buyers should be able to see all listings, Redfin.com will not publish any listings that have been publicly marketed before being shared with all real estate websites via the MLS." However, Kelman also acknowledged the need for MLSs to support seller-friendly options, urging them to offer a "coming soon" status that avoids penalizing sellers with days on market or pricing history exposure. But other voices in the industry are calling out what they see as a power grab by Zillow, not a pro-consumer policy. One article put it bluntly: Zillow's latest policy to ban any listing from its platform that isn't on the MLS within 24 hours of public marketing is a defensive move designed not to protect consumers, but to protect their profits. And Andy Florence, the CEO of Homes.com, echoed that concern. In his words, "If your listing is not on Zillow within 24 hours, Zillow will retaliate against you and your homeowner by turning off your ability to list on Zillow." It's an incredible move of audacity and a pure power play of epic proportion. He's not alone. Critics argue that this is a form of vertical integration. Zillow, as a licensed brokerage, now charges referral fees to agents and also dictates how these listings are displayed. That's not just control, it may be anti-competitive. As Amanda Orson, the CEO of Galleon, put it, Zillow is using its dominance to discourage sellers from testing alternatives. But the more aggressive they get, the more inevitable the shift becomes. Compass, which has advocated for the repeal of clear cooperation, offered the following statement. NAR's recent move to allow more homeowner choice was a small step forward. Zillow's ultimatum to remove homeowner choice goes the other way. Blocking listings that homeowners want publicly marketed because Zillow wants the listing first doesn't serve consumers. Compass, one of the biggest brokerages in the country, said this policy puts Zillow in charge of how homes are marketed. Homes.com, a growing competitor backed by CoStar, says Zillow is bullying agents and limiting seller freedom. Their point? Sellers should have the right to choose how their home is marketed. Period. End of story. Zillow is acting like a gatekeeper rather than a platform. Full disclosure, my real estate license is with Compass. To be fair, Zillow says it's all about fairness and transparency. But many in the industry feel it's a power move to protect their dominant position. Remember, Zillow has direct agreements with multiple MLSs and aggregates their data into their portal. And that brings us to another surprise twist. Here's where it gets kind of confusing. Zillow clarified that there are certain types of listings that won't be banned. Office exclusives that stay completely private. Okay. Delayed listings in the MLS. Also, okay. Coming soon listings that are already submitted to the MLS. Still, okay. To further elaborate, office exclusives are private, non-public listings. So here's an example. A high-profile client, such as a celebrity or a public official, wishes to sell their home discreetly. They instruct their agent to market the property solely within the brokerage, without any public advertising, no sign in the yard, no social media posts, or online listings. Since the property isn't publicly marketed, it's considered an office exclusive. And this is okay with Zillow. Delayed listings in the MLS. Here's an example of that. A seller needs some additional time to prepare their home for showings. Their agent enters the property in the MLS under a delayed status, indicating that the home isn't ready for public viewing yet. During this period, the listing isn't publicly marketed anywhere else. Once the home is ready, the status is updated to active, and the property becomes visible on platforms like Zillow. And then number 3, the coming soon submitted to the MLS. This is when a homeowner plans to list their house soon and wants to generate some early interest. Their agent lists the home in the MLS under a coming soon status, which allows the property to be visible to other agents and, depending on MLS rules, on platforms like Zillow. This status indicates that the home isn't available to be shown, but it will be soon. So what's actually banned? Just this. If your listing is marketed publicly, but not entered into the MLS within 24 hours, it's gone from Zillow forever. It's a super narrow rule with really severe permanent consequences. And it's left a lot of buyers and sellers scratching their heads. I can give you 2 real-life examples of how selling privately benefited my clients recently. The first one was one of my sellers who has a very high-profile job. And they didn't want anyone to know that A, they were selling their house, and B, for how much. They wanted to protect their privacy. So we tried to sell the house privately. This is what the seller wanted. As it turned out, the house did not sell privately. So we did go on the open market, and we sold it that way. Everything worked out, and the new buyers are very happy in their new home. But if it were up to Zillow, because I did put some social media posts out about the house, and if people wanted to see it, to contact me, my clients would have been punished for simply wanting to try and protect their privacy. I had another seller that was selling their parents' house, and it was an estate. The house needed a lot of work. So while we're in the process of removing the wallpaper and got set to fix a bunch of things and get it ready to put on the market, the seller asked me to try and sell it privately on the Compass private exclusive website for the price that it will be once we're finished with the work. Makes sense, right? Why not try? Well, in this case, the house did sell privately, and it saved my client like $10,000 to $15,000 that they would have spent fixing up the house. The buyer was happy because they didn't have to compete, although they did pay a premium for buying it privately. If the house did not sell privately, we had every intention to go on the public market, and my seller would have been punished by Zillow. And any and all buyers that were interested in this house and is located in a very sought after location would have never known it existed if they were searching on Zillow or Redfin. How does this benefit both buyers and sellers? So what does all this mean for you? If you're buying a home, don't rely on just one site. You can use Zillow, but also use competitors like Homes.com, Realtor.com, and Compass. Talk to your agent about homes that may not be listed on Zillow and Redfin. If you're selling a home, ask your agent, how will this home be marketed? Confirm that your listing will go onto the MLS before you do any public marketing if you're worried about Zillow and Redfin. If you want to test the market first, make sure your agent knows how to do that without triggering the ban from Zillow. Zillow isn't just a place to browse for houses anymore. It's trying to rewrite the rules of how homes get sold and marketed. Some say it's about fairness. Others say it's about control. Either way, one thing is clear. In this new world of real estate, how and where your home is listed matters more than ever. So whether you're buying or selling, make sure you're working with someone who understands how these platforms work and how to make sure that you are not missing out. If this video helped clarify what's really going on, go ahead and show our channel some support by sharing this video with other people who really want to know, or just giving me a like or an attaboy in the comments. And let me ask you something. Would you list your home if it meant being banned from Zillow? Definitely tell us what you think in the comments, because we really need to talk about it. This decision could affect your next move in a big way. Here in the DC area, we have some slightly different rules regarding our local Bright MLS. So if you are moving to the area and you want to talk about it, just send me an email and we can set up a Zoom or a call and we can chat about it. And if you are moving to Maryland or DC or Virginia and you would like our help, definitely either send me an email or click on the Calendly link and we'll set you up, we'll get you started. If you missed our video on the top 10 best places to live in Maryland for 2025, according to niche.com, definitely check out the video next. Thanks for watching. I do appreciate it. Bye.